Hello, YouTube. Oop, I made that chicken mad. Just going to address a few things here, especially just trying to help out Palmetto over there, give him some ideas and whatnot. Now, the one suggestion I can give you for where you're talking, I don't fully understand what you mean by the colony method, but you're concerned about getting them out of the shade and whatnot, or getting them out of the weather and whatnot. So I did actually give my wife's cousin one of these style of cages. And he's got one rabbit. He just wants to be able to let it hide itself or whatnot. So what we came up with for him is this is a slope top. So he can just mount stuff to the ceiling of it to keep the sun off of him. What I suggested to him was out of that center wall, he's going to cut a large section out of the center so the rabbit has free run to both of these cages, and he's just going to plastic and plywood the one cage, the one side of the cage, so that way it can get out of the sun, because that's going to be one of your major problems, but you can still have airflow. I would suggest plastic, like a puck board, like that stuff there. That's the same kind of stuff in different thicknesses that they run around the bottom of hockey rinks. I'm sorry, I'm Canadian. I don't know what else they use it for. But I used to buy this stuff by the 100-foot rolls just for slopes in the barn. The other thing I wanted to point out was for you, Palmetto, waters like this are going to be great. Buy way more than you need. And the one thing with this style, there's a couple different styles, so really take a peek when you're in Walmart or something. Walk in there with a bottle of Coke and Walmart, wherever your feed store is, spin this top off. Because this style happens to fit on a pop bottle. There is a couple with different threads that they will not fit on a pop bottle, which sucks. I found that out the wrong way. But what you can end up doing is putting a bigger loop of wire, like this one here, and it will fit a 2-liter pop bottle. Oh, I don't know the math, but that's the big pop bottle. I don't know what that is in American. I speak the metric system for some stuff and the imperial system for others. But when we're dealing with liquid, it's the metric system. But that way, that'll save you some time when you got to do hot water, because the water is the big thing for them. If rabbits don't have water, they will not eat. You need them to eat because they need to produce the milk to make the babies, and the babies need to eat. So that way, you have the meat. Another thing, I know that you're big on being super self-sufficient. Now, that's a pelletized feed. It's alfalfa and a few other assortments of things. I don't suggest you trying to make your own pellets. But I will tell you, oats, which is something I know you can grow down there, might be a little cantankerous at points, but I know you can grow it. That's a great feed for them. And it's not a complete diet. You're going to have to do a little bit of looking. I would shy away from feeding them a lot of corn because rabbits can get a bloat. And I would shy away from switching them to a heavily homemade feed immediately. So maybe figure out a little bit of a mix. I can talk to you about Punnett squares. It's how to figure out proteins and everything else. It's been a while since I've done the feed math, but there's like a whole system you do with squares to cross-reference and figure everything out. We'll talk later. But if you do start making your own feed for them, I suggest if you buy them off of another breeder, try to get the same feed he has and then slowly integrate your feed into their diet. Now, if you want to go bigger, like what I used to do, I don't have any here, obviously, but I used to have automated water nipples that latched onto the wire, and they worked like a hog nipple. Obviously, a rabbit can't work a hog nipple, but same idea. Oh, there was something else important I was going to tell you. Oh, acidity in their urine is horrid. So you really want to get that away. But for the most part, that's the only problem you're going to have with the manure. Otherwise, the manure can go straight onto your gardens or your field. It's what's classified as a coal manure. The only issue may be the urine. So there is some producers that they do like a liquid storage and a dry storage. There's also several styles which, Anthony, you might want to look into if you're going to do it in some sort of a lean-to, where you do straight bottom. So they're just, I have a slope obviously, but so they'd be pooping straight down. But a lot of guys do like worm bins underneath. Just something to look into. I've looked into a bunch of different ones. It wasn't worth for me to do worm bins because I'm not in a warm enough climate enough of the time to bother setting up a worm bin. I could have done it in my old barns, but I was doing over a large liquid system because it used to be a hog barn. But hopefully that's a few more little tidbits for you to think about. Oh, and I should make a fuller video as to why I chose this breed. This is what's called a New Zealand White. They are one of the top breeds for meat. They have a lovely coat if you wanted to hold pelts too, but if you wanted to really go for a meat / pelt, I would suggest the Champagne d'Argent. They're beautiful, lovely coat, and they're just a beautiful animal. But I would try to shy away from things like the Flemish Giant if you're doing them, especially for your own consumption, due to the fact that they are a bigger animal, but the bigger animal is coming actually from bone. I've done personal tests. I've seen lots of tests. They do have a lot more bone to them. We called it the cheater breed when you would breed almost pure white rabbits with a Flemish Giant male, which they grew faster, and when you're shipping them out, they weigh up way quicker, but they're not as good a quality of meat to bone ratio as you get from pure New Zealand white stock. Anyways, I hope this helps you out, Anthony, and whoever else is watching. Keep the questions coming in. I'll see what else I can do for you. Thanks. Bye, guys.